Property management is an interesting question. For many years, estate agency software's standard question has been, does it do sales, lettings and property management? They're the only questions that you have to ask to start with. We tick those three boxes, we move on to the next one. Interestingly, I was around through the entire software revolution when it first came into estate agency, and I know why that happened, because originally the softwares didn't work like that. They just did sales, or they just did lettings, or they just did property management. And so it was just a marketing ploy by the companies that first started to introduce all three in one. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be convenient for you to have all three in one. My point on it is that if you've got this far with Lifesycle, you've started to understand that there's a bigger picture, which is one whereby you're not actually doing any marketing. You've got a system that just does the transaction, and that's all great. But how do you get the actual business to start with? If you're not getting the business to start with, the rest of it's pretty irrelevant. So if I could give you a choice, do you want lots of business and you have to figure out the systems to deal with it? Or do you want the systems to deal with it, but you don't get any business? I feel pretty sure we know which one you'd choose. Property management, even internally, is seen as a separate department. It's a little bit like in my company, the billing or the support departments. They don't really need to know what's going on in sales in terms of using the same system. People complete their process of making an offer, doing a sale, whatever it might be, and they go over to property management. So the fact that property management are using a different system is not a massive issue, really. It's just in our heads we think that this one system should have all three. But the system that has all three doesn't have marketing. So it's not one system anyway. It's just an imaginary idea in your head. So when we've looked at integrating with property management systems, the property management systems say, oh, all we want is the name and the address of the property, and then we'll do the rest. So, okay, maybe in the future there's a possibility of doing an integration, but that doesn't sound like a huge amount of work for the person who's just tied up the deal to then send the name and the property address over to property management for them to carry on with it. So the short answer to your question is that it doesn't really cause any of our agents an issue enough for it to be something that they really need right now in order to be able to use Lifecycle successfully.